Hi, this is Ron Janish. I'm going to give you a quick introduction and demonstration of action-reaction lines. We're going to be using some software that is given away to all course members, and they receive the same full version that I have in my possession and that I'm using here. Okay, this is a chart of daily data of Charlie Schwab, nicely known company. Notice that in the pattern here, if you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could say that the 1 and the 3 and the 5 were pretty much in a downward, because they were low. This one was lower than this one, and this one was lower than this one, and this 4 is higher than this 2. So this is what's known as an EPF pattern. When it comes to Babson lines, there were 3 or 4 different things that were done. And with the EPF pattern, you start with this point here, and you draw a line from here to here. See if we can do that. We'll just have the computer do it automatically for us. Might be a little easier. And the computer's gonna make this here the last day, and the computer's gonna draw the lines. And for us, let's take a look at that. Okay, so what the computer did was it drew the 0, 4 lines, and it connected the center line from here to here. Here's your action point, and here's where prices climb the profit ladder. Notice that all these lines here are equidistant. What's significant here is very simple, very straightforward, is that when prices here go through, they typically will retrace back for a few bars and then go up to the next line. If they don't make it, like they don't make it up at this line here, then what happens is after that sideways move, when they go through, the next target will be the next line. Strangely as that sounds, and that's because when prices go through and hit the line, they don't hit it at new extremes, they hit it at a lower value than this value here. Let's see another example of this. Let's see. Let's move on to let's see. There's a good one. Okay, this is E-Trade, another brokerage firm. Notice 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and once again these are all lower and these go high. And this one here is a little bit higher than this one here, so I'm going to ask the computer to take care of things for us. There we go. And here we have our 0 to 4 line, and these are the equidistant reaction lines. And how it works is very simple. Is once prices go through a line, probability is pretty good they're going to hit the next one. And notice here that when they went up, they did not hit that line. They stopped before it. So they retrace back, and then when they go through, the next line here will wind up being the target. Straightforward as that. Now, that's another example of ETF. Let's see it in the S&P. Here's the S&P index. We have the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how it worked out here recently. There we go. See that prices broke above the 0.4 line, went past the first one, past the second one, did their little sideways dance, immediately up to the next reaction line, did their little sideways dance, and now we'd have to ask the computer to draw some more lines in order to get the next ones. Okay? But that's using the profit ladder technique where every line is equidistant. Babson rarely used those. He really did it very, very differently. He typically would find a center line. Let's say, just for grins, I'm going to draw one here. Let's take this high point here and this low point here. And let's take this high point here. And let's try it again with this high point here. Okay, now this is the reason this one is not working, is not picking the good reaction points, is because this is not a valid center line. You need to draw a valid center line, and there's some magic to that, and we teach that in the course. Let's see let's see a nice example. Yeah, one of the nice things is that there's something that I call a Newton point. Now, there's people out there tell you, Andrews never taught Newton. That's right. He didn't teach about Newton lines. That is a word that I designate specifically for reaction lines that are likely to be the high or low for the year. Let me show you an example. This point here is an interesting point. Let's see. Okay. This line here is a reaction line that came in on this day here. Actually, that's a weekly bar, and this would indicate that this high here would more than likely hold for probably a year or more. And as we can see, obviously prices went down a bit from there. Now, it doesn't just pick highs, it also picks lows. Let's take a look here. This is an FXI chart. Okay, and so we're looking for where the low is down here somewhere. Let's just see what happens. There we go. And the computer using the action reaction method drew this line here, and prices came in down here and then tested the line again down here. And as you can see, it's not unusual for them to test that line. Okay, let's see. Oh, here we have GDX. That's a fun one. And so that's the Newton method, and that's something that we do. And what that does is it uses criteria that are a subset of what Andrews and Babson taught, and it's a very specific subset. Here's another thing. When you have prices going up and down like this, one of the things you can do is simply draw your action points. Well, you draw a center line. Okay, so you might take, let's say this high here and this low here, and then you take the high over here, and then you get your reaction point down here. Okay, so in other words, it would be equidistant. This is your center line, and it would be out here. Now the trick is picking the right center line according to the rules, and then picking the right action points. Okay, and these will help you find reaction points. Down here, for example, is a reaction point, and this is one of the standard 0-3 reaction lines that, as Andrews used to call it. All right, so I hope this gives you a quick overview of them. According to Andrews, there's just a large variety of ways of doing these center lines to find these reaction points. And what we found is that well, we teach all of those. For our own purposes, we use certain ones because we like to limit ourselves to the ones that have the highest probability, and that's what we share in the course. So I thank you for your time. Goodbye. You can contact us at andrewscourse.com.